results. Well, my name is Alexei, and probably I'm one of the few people in Russia who participated in development of two browsers. There used to be Atom, which is now shut down 12, 13 years ago, and now, lately, in Yandex, I'm developing a Yandex browser for organizations. It's a B2B product. It's a corporate browser. And you will ask, much was mentioned already about clouds, and all of a sudden, I'm speaking about the browser. Why, how does it work today? I would like to talk about the browser that is used in clouds or in any other infrastructure, and also about this solution, about to separate the work desk and the browser somewhere else in isolated container, in isolated environment, and how this would provide additional security, and under what scenarios this could be implemented. Why speaking about
will not cover him. So our best recommendation is to use both solutions, to use even more solutions using DLP, CM system, everything available in information security, so as to guarantee that the attacks do not proliferate, that can arrive via a browser. And in conclusion, why we at Yandex are showing interest to the subject is because we see the market. And in fact, the market is growing both globally and in Russia as well. A need like that exists because Russian customers who are used to having access to international RBI solutions are now in a situation of hunger. So they are expecting Russian implementations from vendors, including from us, and it needs to pass the relevant certifications to comply with the regulatory requirements. So we're trying to play in this market. We're prepared to consider technology collaboration. We want to be ready to any requirements of our customers and to be interoperable with any information security solutions out there, so as to be as accessible and available as possible, and to be safe as well. With this, I've arrived at the end of my presentation. I'm ready for questions, and here are my contact details should you want to learn the details of our meeting and we will not have an opportunity to talk here. Alexei, thank you very much. I am hoping you have questions, and we'll award this book for the best question. Yeah, I'm here. My name is Mikhail. I have two questions. First, your product exists in two versions, one for free and the other by subscription. Which one is used more actively? Well, the service, we're not yet ready to announce it as a fully fledged business solution. So more likely than not, it's going to be an absolute separate product, so we don't know. So it's going to be a third product, right? Yeah, it's going to be a separate solution, an information security solution that will be based on Yandex browser, but it will be offered as a separate product. Okay, good. Well, I think you need to think about how to choose customers, because even now it's difficult to choose the customer, because the whole idea of a subscription-based browser that you need to pay is something that users will think twice. And the second question is about the infrastructure. Where do they store passwords and other things? Firstly, let me comment on the subscription statement that you made. So we also have a permanent perpetual license. But to answer your question, the passwords are not saved by default. The isolation is exactly about the browser. Passwords as part of the content. Is there at least some content that the user can store? Well, it's an open question. So far, we haven't been saving any content. We completely evicted after the session. Thank you. Another question here. A colleague somewhere in the middle of the room, to the right of me. Well, if you allow me, while they're carrying the microphone there, this colleague was raising their hand. Yeah, even two. If you allow me, a small comment from myself. Maybe Alexei will agree with me or not, but speaking in general, the RBI technology is being very actively used together with technologies to provide cloud-based security services in systems like SASE. It's in SaaS. It's about systems of security that operate as SaaS, and I think that it's an extremely promising business, especially including in Russian market. And myself, as an expert in information security, I'm taking a look at the implementation of this solution with a lot of interest, and we're actively thinking how to integrate with them. It's just a comment. Thank you, thank you. I hope that we'll manage to do it. Me too. Okay. There are two small questions. Are there any additional factors or capabilities to strengthen, to improve the capabilities to connect a client machine to a remote, isolated browser using LS, LTP, or something like that? And where exactly the information the browser side, or we'll be getting the data from the user computers so as to send all information to CMs and in other places. Let me start with the end of your question. So it's supposed that you can install it from both ends. If, for instance, we're talking about the Yandex browser, it supports out-of-the-box integration with popular CM solution and DLP as well. It can work as a DLP agent, so we can obtain the required information from the employee device, because the following scenario is considered. It connects directly to internal services and goes outside, and it goes to RBI only if accesses some external services. And we need to control the employees' devices as well. And also the container as such can also be equipped with security tools. And what was the first question? It was about multi-factor authentication. Yes, any factors. Authentication in this scenario is happening at the service level. So we got some feature requests detailing how they would like us to use PAM solutions and other solutions to control access. And I think it will be done via integration. But currently the product is in a very early technical preview phase, so we haven't yet worked out all the details. Thank you. Hello. Firstly, I'd like to thank you for the interesting lecture. I have two questions, one technical and the other one conceptually. The technical question is, how do you solve the latency problem, especially when it comes to video traffic? Actually, the biggest source of latency resides in the browser as such. The page is rendered, and that entails the biggest delay, because we can render a video on the server side, including software, CPU, and GPUs. In GPUs at the hardware level, 4K frame can be compressed in a fraction of a second. So we fix the delays at the engine level, and then encoding does not affect the traffic a lot. But what affects the traffic is like if they're watching a video in the isolation mode. That's the maximum requirement to throughput. If it's just about navigating corporate website, reading mail, then the requirements for traffic requirements go down by the order of magnitude. Okay, got it. Second question. Which industries do you think require this technology in the first place? And for which industries, companies, this technology is an overkill? Just in your opinion. For the most part, we see that it's for the largest customers we have, who mostly use on-premises solutions, who keep an eye on their employees very strictly. And I think this is especially interesting for them, for large enterprises. For small companies, if their information security requirements are low, but again, at the level of top managers and key employees, this solution may also be of interest to them. And here we are prepared to offer it to anyone. So, for instance, there's a customer that has 100 computers, and they're already shown interest in piloting the solution once. So you don't identify specific sectors. It depends on the overall policy of information security in a specific company. Yes, at present it is so. Of course, we were thinking about major, large customers in the financial sectors, in manufacturing, who got interested in that and showed the interest in funding the development of their technology. We won't say no to those who are smaller. Thank you. Colleagues, there was a question there. Hello again, CB company. Firstly, regarding the certification, you mentioned that you are planning. But when exactly are you going to do that? Well, we haven't yet launched the product, and it's very difficult to talk about the dates before that. Yes, we are in consultations with colleagues who have experience regarding certification. One of the questions we are now working on is about containerization and lightweight operating system that runs in the container should be Russian-made. So the Docker should be Russian, and this light operating system should also be Russian. And we're in discussions with major Russian operating systems providers who is going to provide us with the smallest operating system. And is the Russian Docker type? Yes, there is a solution. We are in communication with them as well. There are some subtle details there, but I think we're going to get a certifiable solution. And also a small question, do you consider a question of FSB certification? Well, I'm not yet prepared to comment. We're only at the beginning stage of discussions. Colleagues, any more questions? I think the whole idea of selling a browser looks like the adage about selling the elephant. In 2025, long after paid browsers have gone out of the market, especially if it's about a paid version of Yandex. So what a company will lose if it decides not to buy a paid browser from Yandex, because the free version also have policies. In Google Chrome, it's even better with policies. You can disable the cache, you can restrict its size, you can reduce the scope of using the operating, the random access memory, and also you can use the browser on the terminal server, run only one browser, and that will look just like a window rendered on a user computer screen. And generally, if we only have a browser, then we can just load only the browser on a workstation and work only in it. Everything will be fine. So what can be attacked there if there's only browser running there? The whole idea seems I just don't see any people who are prepared to go along this technology, including VDA. Was it a question or a comment? It was a question. What do companies lose if they decide not to buy a paid Yandex browsers? Which pitfalls they're going to fall into? Which rocks are going to fall on their heads? Well, there are policies in the free version as well. Well, I wouldn't like to go into advertising the product. Mikhail, can I say a couple of words? Well, for sure, you can say a couple of words, considering that you were doing work on it as developer, and I'm sure you have answers to these questions. Yes, in fact, we've had a paid version. For some time. This is just a new service that we're building on top of the existing paid version. What it does, it offers you deep integration capability with the existing information security environment. It can be integrated. It's a B2B solution that can be integrated with adjacent B2B solutions. Also, it has built-in DLP policies that reduce the load on the DLP infrastructure and offer you control over the browser sandbox context, which may be difficult or really impossible to be achieved using other solutions. I'm not even mentioning built-in anti-phishing and so on and so forth. The second point is that not only policies give you B2B manageability of an enterprise level browser. We have DPI, we can be set up for the setting up and for immediate response to threats. Now that we're talking about information security, it also includes extended capabilities to move the security environment to personal devices of the employees. Without setting up any new profiles for them. Our browser, as a security container, is prepared for this scenario of operation, safe operation on personal devices. We have quite a few applications where these scenarios manage to sell our browser to companies. One can spend more time discussing, but what I would like is to start selling or keep selling. Do I remember correctly that you have browser implementation for mobile platforms? Yes, we support Android and iOS, including Russian implementation of Android. And if we try to find a normal MDM for the Russian mobile platform, I think we're going to get a lot of additional details to overcome. This is just to support the discussion. Do we always need VDM? So the question, when a mobile phone is being used to access enterprise resources, the control of a mobile device belonging to an employee is a must. And there's a question that a lot of these sessions are either inaccessible or they use security tools that do not reside in the territory of the Russian Federation. So it's in this aspect that this is important. The question is that the zero trust policy should not trust a device that's located somewhere outside. In any event, we have to verify what's flying from it. It doesn't matter whether it's protected or not, because in any event, what's flying from a remote device needs to be checked, needs to be understood how dangerous it is. Well, it's a theoretical discussion. We had the theme of information security architecture on the first day, so I guess we shouldn't be going to that kind of discussion right now, what's coming in, what's flying in, and other things. But still, the question of providing access to enterprise resources to a low-trust device, in my opinion, I think Yandex browser is going to help us, especially for a number of operating systems for which there's no Russian NPM products.
Google Chrome,
Google Chrome, it's not that it's going to disallow that, but we've already discussed this in a session about MFA and other such things. In actual fact, We have plenty services controlled by Google on our phones, and it would be useful to have some additional security environment there, because we don't keep those services under our control, in actual fact. Oh, and this is a great story. Well, I'm prepared to comment, because we've discussed this together with my colleagues, and that is something that we can easily do, right, Alexei? Yes, this is actually a key thing that we do with customers. It's called security policy bypass protection. We offer a number of recommendations. So we have our own small service, not as powerful as RBI. It's called enrollment host. And the browser, let me try and explain it in very rough terms. A dynamic header is built at the level of every request, and the network environment of the company controls that the connection can be made to the enterprise resource with this header. So the browser does support this. It compares the new version of the header and any other connections, either from Chrome or Firefox or even from a Yandex browser that does not have this header, will be blocked. In the browser, we can use any version of mail. Yes, this is the story. That's why I'm acting cynically, and I was cynical in placing such an exciting presentation at the end of the session. I can give you mine. It's actually quite an exciting news about this header, and what protects it. Is it being encoded, or so what stands in the way of add any other payload to this header? You can manipulate with it the way you can. It's done at the level of network automation. I didn't prepare this question, and of course I would like to open up all the cards. If we exchange contact details now, I'll give you technical details as early as on Monday. Actually, basically, it's done at the encryption level. The service that supports this mechanism, there are many factors that guarantee security. This implementation has been tried. The scenario has been used for more than 18 months. We've gone through all the levels. And so the company also has the capability of strengthening this thing whichever way it can. The browser will accept any way of identification. Is it a proprietary solution, or are some open technologies being used? We provide our own solution. Also, the company can create their own way of identification. It's a universal story. We just conceptually offer using this method, and then it's up to the organization to decide, based on the network solutions they have, Nginx or not Nginx, which server they have internally, and they can provide role-based access. It's just up to the architecture decision. Thank you very much. A good question. Here, if you allow me, I would like to echo what Alexei said.
You know what I wanted to say, that this is the approach for the browser, and this is approach for implementing RBI technology. I would say that this is extension or addition to the corporate perimeter of security. There are a lot of interesting integration opportunities. We're also looking into that right now. Yeah, I guess I also have to give you the microphone because we've lost everybody else. Yeah. Since we are talking about internal host as an option, maybe it could be also used for a connection from the client's machine, like a PDI. What do you think about that for the contract? Well, a client's browser connection with RBI can be set in the level of group policies. You can set up where to connect and for what URLs. It does not require any additional effort in terms of configuration, and the browser itself, when it comes to to the certain URL, should it open directly? Should it open through the RBI? It's pretty simple, yeah, in terms of architecture, we're having a couple of projects, so I just wanted to suggest an idea that maybe we want to enhance this user's machine communication in this remote table. And as an option, this host sounds like a good option. Well, like I'm saying, that we are developing this product, looking at the market, looking at the partners and our clients, getting feedback and trying to be very flexible, because again, the international vendors like Chrome Enterprise Premium is available on the market, like Kalik was asking, who is buying this kind of commercial browsers. It is available on the international market. There is a huge layer, even Firefox enterprise version. It costs $10 a year, per user or month per user. And this is not a new approach, which was invented by Yandex. Simply want to make a Russian enterprise browser and a Russian product. Yeah, with the focus of dealing with the Russia-specific security issues. Any other comments or questions? Well, yeah. Or should we close shop? Dear colleagues, I think that's enough. Thank you. Thank you for staying until the end. Very interesting discussion. And, I got a little bit sweaty. But anyway, it was like awesome. We left it, we finished it up on a high note. And thanks to Alexei for a super interesting talk. And Alexei, give the book for the best question of your choosing. I would like to give the book to